The darkness, it flows within me. It seeps from every vein.
Hey, what's up, plebs? It's been a while since I did a live duel commentary, but I wanted to put the new phone in action, and yeah, we got a pretty nice camera here, so just jumping straight into it. Game 1, playing Burning Abyss, win the dice roll, and I decided to go first. I opened Terratop and I managed to hit gloves and a boots, which is pretty good. Sort of. I mean, I go through like a lot of my Phantom Knights at this stage, like really quickly. Like silly like speed here. Sorry, I can't speak right now. It's 2 AM and yeah, I've lost like the will to live. So this commentary might not be that high quality. So apologies for that. Also, My Little Pony sleeves, because I don't actually watch My Little Pony. It's been a long day. Okay, I've had a rough year. Right, leave me alone. But anyway, I open with set 3, and one of them is a mass change. So at this stage, I have the opportunity to, like, you know, I've got two fog blades, so I can either fog blade the Crobat or mass change into Dartlaw. In hindsight, fog blade might have been a little bit better. Because he does have the 1 over Raigeki, and I have no Burning Abyss in graveyard to float the Dante, so I get put in a really bad situation here. I banish the Wavering Eyes out of the hand with the Dark Claw. Jordan seems to complain. I don't know why he's complaining. Like, that's not a very good card to hit. Well, I mean, it is, but it's like, I mean, I get Raigeki and I can't do anything, you know. I have like 2 fog blades and that's it, you know. It's just not a good situation at all. I do some more Phantom Knight stuff, search out some more cards. So I get like all 3 fog blades to my hand at this stage, and it's like they're just doing nothing for me. Like it's just not a great situation because I'm not putting up any pressure at all, because that Raigeki was pretty heavy. So anyway, he tops the Painful Decision, realizes that there's really no reason to Pendulum Summon and activate Scales and all this kind of stuff when you can just go into beat mode, and these Fog Blades don't do anything against vanilla monsters. So I have no choice but to like Dark Hole here and like set, because I'm just going to be taking like an unreal amount of damage. I set a monster as well, but in hindsight it might have been better to just like normal summon that Libich that I top decked and then fog blade it when he attempts to attack it, because it means that, you know, if I top deck another monster, any monster, it means I can overlay. But because obviously it was face down, I couldn't fog blade my own monster, and yeah. So anyway, he top Sorcerer again. I just have to like fog blade it and hope like because I'm like critically low at this point. I don't know what the exact life is here, and yeah, I'm pretty sure it's game here. We just like go over like some maths, and yeah, this was absolutely like a horrible game 1. It was just so bad to watch. So I can imagine like even just commentating this now, like just looking at it, it's terrible. It's not a fun game. But anyway, going next game 2. Yeah, sorry. I side into. I actually don't have much of a side for Dracopals because my main deck is completely tailored for it. But I decide that. Like game 1 I went first, I go first blind, but going second, well, going into game 2, if I lose, then I'll probably, I choose to go second against this deck because I just have so many cards that just hurt the deck so much. I've got Triple Maxi mained, I've got Veilers sided into, and of course I already main deck Double Dark Hole Raigeki. So like, I have about 8 cards in my opening hand that I can draw, like that are just, you know, kind of blowouts against this deck. So I feel like it's better to just not go not go first, especially because I don't play any traps. I'm playing trapless PK Fire apart from the Fog Blades, you know, but I mean like they kind of don't really hinder you too much because they're like searchable. Like the idea is you just want to like just go like focus on Beatrice, you know, like that's the whole idea behind this deck, is just make Beatrice, just because like just a Farfa or an Alec can just literally just end like a Dracopal player turn. Like there's a couple of times in this match where it comes up, and I'll point out as we go along. But Beatrice is just like so strong right now, and yes, like strikes are good and stuff, but like game 2 and 3, they're just gonna side into Twin Twisters or MSTs, and they just become terrible cards at that stage. You know, I'd rather just like focus on making Beatrice as fast as possible, and even potentially like multiple Beatrice. So I think that's an Alec I have underneath this Beatrice currently, so it's not really great for what I need right now because of the fact that, yeah, it can negate a monster effect, but it's better to send it. And against Dracopals, the negate monster effect isn't really that good, because the only thing you really want to negate against Dracopals is Ignister, and it's not really good to negate Ignister because it's still gonna like beat over your other cards and stuff anyway. So ideally you just want to like Farfa away the Luster, which I do here. So he Pendulum Summons 5, sorry, and I think for a second and be like, okay, I think it's pretty much correct for me to Farfa the Luster on summon rather than like wait for him to like overlay into Ignister first of all or something like that, just because of the fact like I'm at risk of him just overlaying into Dweller before he synchro summons, and if he overlays into Dweller, it's just Beatrice has just become completely useless anyway, so there's no point in waiting for him to synchro first, because he's going to make Dweller first if he's like smart, and I'm going to assume that Jordan knows what he's doing. So yeah, I Farfa away the Dinosaur, and it forces him at this stage to make a really underwhelming play. 4 monsters, you know, Pendulum summoned, the only, like, he doesn't have a master. Oh, actually he doesn't have a master, sorry, but there's just like not really much he can do that's good, you know, like without that tuner, there's just nothing like the Dracopal deck can do versus an established field that isn't just kind of shitty and underwhelming. So he goes for Dweller Castell here, and that's just not good, honestly. It's just not great. Like, he's wasting 4 extra deck monsters just to try get around a Beatrice, you know, so Castell away the Beatrice, and it's like, it didn't seem that great, to be honest. I feel, in hindsight, I feel like it probably could have just Pendulum 4 and passed, like, and made Dinosaur maybe, and that was it. I don't feel like he even needed to overlay. He probably could have just waited until next turn to deal with the Beatrice, because like he's just out of monsters now. He's just 4 monsters have gone to out 1 card. It just wasn't economically very good. So yeah, going into my turn, he uses Dweller, and I chain the Fogblade in the standby, and that Luster comes back very late because we forget it. Main phase 2, normal summon this guy. In hindsight, it's a bit of a minor misplay. I could have used Cloak effect on gloves to boost it by 800 and it'll make it 1800, and I can attack over the Dweller. It just means it's just 1 less body on the field. I know Dweller's completely useless at this point, but anyway, I decided to go for Grand Pulse and hit a scale because I just really don't want him to bring that Luster back. And if you can stop the Ignister being made against Dracopals, I feel like that's what else do you care about? Like, what else are you really like worried about? Like, nothing. Ignister is literally it. That's the only problem monster in the deck, you know, like, especially if they can combo with Dweller, it's probably game over at that stage. So he sends a bunch of back row, probably some of them are bluffs and whatever. I decide to hit the first one, because he knows I have that Tour Guide in hand, and I'm stalling on that Tour Guide, because I know, like, he's setting 3, like, one of them has to be, like, a solemn card of sorts. So I'm just holding it at this stage. I hit the MST, not very good card. I didn't expect to hit an MST, because, like, Jordan knows my deck, and he knows my build, so I didn't I expected all his back row to be real. That's kind of the issue here, so it's like, in hindsight, Grand Pulse is maybe not that great. Like, it did hit the other scale, which is, you know, good. Yeah. So anyway, I go into Breaksword here, just trying to force out the back row, because I know for a fact, like, he's gonna, like, he has to strike this, otherwise I just Breaksword, pop the Grand Pulse, and pop a back row, you know, just pick apart the cards one by one. Like, there's really, like, no, like, he just pretty much has to strike it. So at this stage, it means I'm pretty much free running, whatever you want to call it, to go into Tour Guide next turn. Also, I could have attacked with the Grand Pulse before popping a card in that turn again. Very minor thing. But I feel like not attacking with Grand Pulse is correct, because, like, there's no point in just, like, it's better to just have, like, a 2/8 defense body on the field than dealing with, you know, essentially vanilla monsters at this stage. where they were actually like Castell and Duel are just they're worse than vanilla monsters at this stage because they have no materials, they have less attack than and they can't be overlaid or fused with. So literally there's no point. Like I might as well just keep that on the field as a potential fodder for a break sword if it comes up in a turn or two. Because I know my tour guide's live now. I haven't even used Graph yet. Haven't milled it or anything, so I'm free to go off here. So I summon tour guide. Yeah, he doesn't have the double solemn, so it's all good. Summon the Graph out the deck. Go into Dante, standard procedure. Mill 3, hit, nothing good. I never mill well with this deck. I never do. I think I've hit like a Scarm like once in this duel. Like that's the only good thing I've hit. Justifier losses. It's okay, Nadir. So yeah, I hit a little bitch, I think, and that actually makes it game. But he's in such a bad position anyway. It's like kind of irrelevant that I milled well. Sort of. I don't know. I'm just kind of moaning here. Anyway, game 3, Upstart, Wavering combo, search with Ariadne. Search the keyboard, scolding, trap hole. Better to just give him the scolding. I don't have Dark Color Raigeki in my hand. There's kind of no point to give him the Chaos Trap hole, I feel. But like removal is really bad. Like you don't want your stuff removed. I'm surprised he kept the trap stuff in because he probably did expect to go first because I let him go first game 2, but I may have potentially chose to go first game 3 because I feel like this deck is kind of versatile that way. It can sort of just go first or second really well, but I just wanted to be safe, you know, like get the extra card, have like a Maxi or Veiler in my hand to deal with anything. And yeah, so he normal summons Crobat, I Maxi, and he opts to not go for the Pendulum Summon, like doesn't even choose to wall up. He banishes Dante, Seer brings back the Rubik material, and it's just past turn. And he goes off here. I just Maxi in the standby phase. He face offs. I mean, like he's going for game here, and I have cards I can draw into. I can draw into Veiler, for example, which would stop an Ignister summon, which is pretty clutch. So yeah, I drop a Veiler on an Ignister here. It means he's not going to get another Master out of the deck. He's not going to be able to spin anything. But obviously he can just make another Ignister, which he does here. Yeah, so he spins, attacks. We do the maths, but I think he misplays here because he forgets he upstarted twice, not just once. So 2 upstarts, and of course, what's it called? Rubik staying on the field. Well, it actually didn't stay on the field, but Ignister being negated meant that he was going to get 1 less summon, which was pretty relevant, I guess. So I think the like 2 850, 2 850, 17, 1950. It's, I don't know the maths right now. I can't do maths, but it's less than 10k. But it puts me critically low. And I've drawn a whole bunch of cards. So, you know, he's going to be in a bit of bother next turn. He makes 2. So because I have a ton of cards in my hand. Like, I don't know how many cards I must have drawn there. 6 cards or something. And I'm like staring down Dweller, double Ignister, and it's like, you know, it kind of would have been nice to draw one of my Dark Color Raigekis, like, in my, like, 8 cards or some shit, like, you know, but whatever. So, yeah, I just have, like, a full hand of BAs here. I'm under Dweller, so, like, without that Dark Color Raigeki, it's actually kind of underwhelming. I mill 3, Phantom Knight, I hit a little bitch, so obviously that's not going to trigger on the Dweller. I just special summon from my hand, Alex, special Barbar. Because the idea here is that I'm gonna end with Beatrice. So if you can see my hand, I have 2 names and Twin Twister. So yeah, attack over Dweller. Dante goes back into defense. That 3rd Dweller at the bottom, by the way, is banished. It's not actually on the field. Just if you forgot that, I got Chaos Trap hold. So the idea here is that I can end with Twin Twister. So it means I can stop any scales. I have Alec underneath the Beatrice, so I can negate 1 Ignister and then Farfa the other by sending to deck. So I feel like I'm safe in this situation, but he top decks MST, hits my back row, Wavering Eyes is for 500.
Now that you've heard our whispers, it is only a matter